See that? That's how clueless they looked last night at the Republican. Listen, I'm gonna put this out a little late. I'm gonna be honest with you. I watched the Republican national security debates. It was actually last night. By the time this video comes out, maybe it's a week old. Who cares? It's not about the topic, the specificity of that particular debate. It's about what I saw. First of all, the two people who stood out during that debate, Newt Gingrich and Dr. Ron Paul. Okay, here's the problem I have with that. First of all, the majority of the mainstream media has called Dr. Paul batshit crazy. So obviously that lets me know that either the mainstream media or the Republican Party is putting it out there and they don't want this guy to get hired. Second of all, Newt Gingrich is the smartest man in the room. Well, that's not surprising to me. He's often the smartest man in the room. But did you guys forget who Newt Gingrich was? You forgot? The same guy who tried to get Bill Clinton impeached for having sex while he was in the White House and cheating on his wife, while Newt Gingrich himself was cheating on his wife. This is who the conservative moral majority wants to, listen, seriously. Herman Cain, Michelle Bachmann, Santorum, Sanitation, Santorum, I don't know. Same thing. Huntsman, oh, by the way, Huntsman did a pretty good job last night. I was relatively impressed. But what I saw last night, they couldn't have beat Dan Quayle as president. Listen, I'm gonna harken back to the Stop It Be, Pay Your Bills on Time video. It's the best and the brightest. Harvard, Yale, Brown, Cornell. All 7 of them could have went to Norfolk State. They'd have done a better job, B. I wasn't impressed. I was not overly impressed. And this isn't Republican bashing. I'm just saying, as a Republican Party, has anyone stepped out of themselves for a second and took a look at this garbage? This is who you putting up there? This is who you putting up there? Newt Gingrich. This guy is leading Mitt Romney. Newt Gingrich, what we're hoping is the entire country forgot who he was. Because if Newt Gingrich wins the Republican nomination, then all that's right and good with the world is wrong and bad with the world. You can't stand on the moral high ground and have this guy be your nominee. Mitt Romney, again, Becky Ann, this is the guy who keeps running in second. I don't care who you put out there. I could run for the Republican nomination. And as soon as I got there, I'd probably catapult over Mitt Romney. Nobody knows why. I don't know what it is that he has. It's always a bridesmaid, never the bride. But that's who he is. That's who the guy is. Huntsman, I will vote for him if his eyebrow didn't keep going up. I don't know, what was that? What is that? He's The Rock? I gotta vote for The Rock now? But he has some good ideas on foreign policy. I don't know, but his foreign policy is not that bad. Dr. Ron Paul, consistently the only guy in the room, not afraid to say what he wants to say, and you continue to call him batshit crazy. Why? Because he said the Patriot Act was unpatriotic because it takes away our civil liberties, which we were promised. Why? Because he says we're not at war because no one ever declared war, which they haven't. Why? What is it about Dr. Ron Paul that scares you? Is it the Andy Rooney eyebrows? If that's what it is, come on, B. Come on, you're doing too much. Can't be because he's old. John McCain was 5,000 years old when he ran in 2008. Nobody said anything about that. So what's the problem? Rick Santorum doesn't have a top lip. We keep looking at it, well, who is this guy? Listen. You can't talk about the human rights violations in other countries and then have Rick Santorum stand up there and say, I'm running for president, but oh yeah, you can racially profile Muslims. Because let's be honest, did anybody see any of the pictures of any of the terrorists who flew planes? Any of them? None of them had beards like mine. None of them came in with a turban on their head. They weren't wearing kufis and jalabiyas. That's not what they were wearing. They were dressed just like you and me. And a lot of people out there can't even tell the difference between a Puerto Rican, an Italian, and an Arab. I know this for a fact because they destroyed a lot of Hindu businesses right after 9/11. You can't tell the difference between me and Stop. Cut it out. You can't racially profile because you can't. You just can't do it. It's not possible. And Herman Cain, seriously, you can change the word all you want to, but targeted identification is the same as racial profiling, and I guess targeted identification is good as long as it's them Muslims over there, and it tell us your black hind parts riding down the New Jersey Turnpike and they pull you over and go, hey, we use targeted identification to pull you over for driving this really nice car, black man. Come on, B. Come on. Do y'all just say anything? Does anybody, are you listening? Listen, whoop, is this thing on? Come on, B. Somebody needs to just film this and play it back to you. I do that sometimes. I watch my stand-up, I look back and go, ooh, I shouldn't have said that. Somebody's not doing that for you guys. Didn't mean to ignore Rick Perry. By the way, Rick Perry, nice hair, once again. That's all I got for you. Michelle Bachmann, do this. Take a class in active listening. You were standing directly beside Newt Gingrich. 6 times in a row, Newt Gingrich said, I'm not saying give amnesty to all 11 million of the illegal immigrants here. What I'm saying is there's some that have been here for 25 years or so. They've raised a family here. Their kids are legal. They are members of churches. They actually pay taxes. What I'm saying is we've got to figure out a way, maybe not give them citizenship, but make it so they can stay here with their families, because I can't believe the party of the family is trying to break families up. 4 or 5 times he said that. Not all 11 million, just a few. And even Mitt Romney acknowledged that's not the rule, that's the exception. So there's always an exception to the rule. He said, I'm making an exception for these people under these circumstances. You continue to repeat, well, I don't believe you're sitting there saying amnesty for 11 million people. You know why you don't believe it? Because that's not what he said. Ooh. Shelly B, look at me. You're down to about 2%. If your approval rating is lower than the unemployment rate, drop out, shorty. There's a saying in the urban community. It's called in the way. You're in the way. Stop it, B. Seriously, if Newt Gingrich is the best you got right now, if that's who you're promoting over Becky Ann and over Dr. Ron Paul, maybe you need to rethink your whole life, B. Change your life, B. Look at what's really going on. Pick somebody that's really I don't even have an option right now. You're trying to force me to vote for Barack Obama again. You don't like him? Don't like him. But don't give me doodle on a stick and say, this is a better option than Barack Obama. I know some moron out there is going, I would vote for doodle on a stick over Barack Obama. And you're an idiot. I'm out.